New videos every day.
Have you ever practiced magic? I bet you have, and you don't even know it. There are so many things that people do every day that have their origin in ancient magical practices, or are the remnants of some ancient magical practice. And the funny thing is that most people don't even know it. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the different elements of magic. Now, all magical practices have the same common elements. It doesn't matter if you're a stage magician or a Tibetan mystic or someone sacrificing a goat. All of the same common elements are there. Now, it's important to know what these elements are so that you can recognize magical practices for what they are. Now, in the last video, we defined exactly what magic is. And if you haven't seen that video, you might want to watch it before you finish this one. But in essence, magic is taking something that is up here, something that you want to have happen, and making it a reality in the real universe. Now, that is the essence of magic, the question of primitive man wondering, how can I make what's in my head a reality? Now, there have been several answers to this question throughout time, some better than others. Like, perhaps the idea of getting naked and rubbing goat's blood all over you and dancing under the full moon in the middle of the woods probably wouldn't help you get a girlfriend. But that doesn't mean that several people have not tried it. But the bottom line is the question of many people attempting to discover how to make something happen. Now, this brings us to our first element of magic. Now, you could call it intention. You could call it will. Aleister Crowley called it a postulate. Basically, in essence, it is what you want to have happen. It is the idea itself. It is the intention. So the intention is what you want to have happen. Say you want $1 million, say you want a better job, or you want some beautiful woman to fall in love with you, which would be the point of a love spell. So the intention is what you want to have happen. So the first element of magic is intention. Now, this is probably the most important element of magic. Whether you believe in magic or not, it's quite obvious to see that if you never intend something to happen, nothing will ever happen. You won't get a job probably unless you intend to have a job. Take a guy on a couch, sitting at home, intending absolutely nothing to happen. Well, nothing will happen. There will be nothing happening unless he intends something to occur. Even for him to get up and go to the restroom, he first has to have that intention to get up and go. Otherwise, nothing will happen. So intention is really a prerequisite to magic. To making anything happen at all, you first have to intend it. So first of all, you have to have the intention to make something happen. Now, in order to make something happen, you have to have the means or the method of making what's in your mind a reality. Now, this is the second element of magic, and we call that the ritual. Now, if you remember Aleister Crowley's definition of magic, is that magic is the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. He says causing change to occur. In other words, you are doing something. The practice of magic is an activity. It is causing change through action. Now, those actions that you perform in order to bring about the desired change, we call ritual. Now, in Crowley's definition of magic, he calls it a science and an art. The word science there is used because if you perform certain standard actions, the result is going to be predictable. The word art is used because for some people, the result is going to become better than for others, even if the same standard actions are performed. Now, there have always been different ideas on how to make something happen. So as a result of this, there have been some pretty crazy rituals invented. But keep in mind that magic doesn't always have to be supernatural. It's just making something happen in accordance with an original will. So take, for example, my car isn't on, and I want it to be on. So I take my keys and I put it in the ignition, turn the keys, press down on the pedal, and my car starts. Now, if you break that down, all of the elements of magic are there. First of all, the intention of wanting my car to be on, the ritual of getting the keys out and turning the car on, and then finally the result of the manifestation of the original intention becoming a reality. Now, there's just one other thing that I would like to mention about ritual. Now, in Crowley's second theorem, which is called the postulate, he says, quote, any required change may be effected by the application of the proper kind and degree of force in the proper manner through the proper medium to the proper object. In other words, he's saying that change can occur as long as you have the proper method applied correctly to the proper object. Now, the third element of magic is called agency. And I'm going to read it right out of the dictionary what an agent is. It says it is a person or a thing that performs an action or brings about a certain result, or is able to do so. Now, by agent, we mean the source that is making something happen. If you make something happen, you are the agent. If God makes something happen, then that means He is the agent. The agent is the source of power that is making something occur. Now let's look at an example of agency. Say that you are in high school and you are picked on and beat up by the class bully every day. And you're a lot smaller than him, and so you can't really do much about it at the moment. But your intention is for him to be lying on his back in writhing pain. So what do? You cry to your older brother, right? You invoke a higher agency. He has the power and the means to do your will. So, hopefully, your older brother will manifest your will into reality and beat the hell out of this bully, right? Now, if you look at this from a historical perspective, you will see that calling on a higher agency has everything to do with magic. So if at any point someone feels like they don't have the power to make a change occur on their own, they'll call on a higher agency. Now, this higher agency could be a spirit. It could be an ancestor. It could be a god or a demon or just the ultimate monotheistic God. But this ritual of calling on a higher power is called prayer. Now, another interesting thing about calling on a higher power is when you say, God damn you. You are literally saying, I want God to damn you to eternal hellfire. You are saying a curse, an incantation of some kind. Now, this damning in hell is a curse, which is where curse word comes from. Now, it's important to point out that the agent doesn't always have to be a higher power. Sometimes it is the person who is intending in the original will, that person is the agent. So it's not always a higher power, but there is always an agent. Either it is the person that is intending the change, or it is another power that is invoked. Now, the next element of magic is what Crowley would call the medium, but we're going to call the carrier. Now, if you can imagine a carrier wave, channeling things along to make a change, it's exactly like that. It's carrying the intention along to make a change. So this carrier element is what defines the different types of magic. Now, one kind of magic we could call faith magic or conviction magic, or basically belief. It's a type of magic if you believe hard enough, without a shadow of a doubt that something will occur, then it will occur. So in this example, the carrier is belief. Now, another type of magic is what we call emotional magic. And this is when you want something to happen so bad. You want it, you want it, you want it. You're so enthusiastic about it. And what do we call that today but motivational speaking? Now, there's all these different types of carriers, and another type is called sex magic. Now, it's a little weird. It was practiced by Aleister Crowley himself and by Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan. So it's kind of a magic that is practiced by the Church of Satan even today. It's called sex magic, and it is when you intend something to happen so badly at the point of orgasm that you know that it is going to happen. Now, another type of carrier is called effort magic, or what we would call methodology or science. It is basically just applying the correct amount of physical force to an object in order to incur a change. Now, this would be like me taking the keys out and turning on my car. It's not supernatural at all. Now, the last element of magic is the result. You have the intention, you go through the proper rituals, and does it result in accordance with your will? If it doesn't, then it's not magic. But if it does, then you did perform magic, because magic is defined as a change occurring in conformity with the will. So the 5 elements of magic are intention, ritual, carrier, agency, and the result. All forms of magic will have these 5 elements, whether it's a magician on stage performing sleight of hand, or a group of Indians dancing to the rain god trying to make it rain, or Uncle Billy praying for Mary Sue to get better. All forms of magic will have these 5 elements. Now, those are the 5 elements of magic. In the next magic video, we're going to be talking about the different types of magic and how to use this information to empower yourself. Doesn't mean that you have to believe that you're going to be performing magic with a wand. It is learning how to make intentions and to make those intentions happen. Now, it might be your intention to make your boyfriend or girlfriend melt in your arms. And how are you going to learn to do this? But by watching my videos on kissing. How to kiss passionately, how to make it an art, and how to make someone melt. Thank you so much for watching. Please rate my video and I'll be back.
If you liked this video, we have hundreds of more alternative videos ranging from sexual health to psychology to mind control. So if you liked it, go ahead and click on me to enter the Psychetruth channel.